For all of us, 2020 has been exceptional. In a way, the challenges we had to tackle also revealed the best of who we are. 2020, if you recall, started on a very strong base with the third editions of the Choose France Summit, as we brought together 140 CEOs in Versailles. More than 4 billion of investment were announced. Like every year, we leveraged the 2020 World Economic Forum to promote and showcase France. For the first time, we brought to Davos CEOs of our most promising startups, part of the Next 40 Index, to meet the world's biggest leaders, including the French CAC 40. Since the outbreak of the pandemic in March, we have been blown away by the courage and determinations of all entrepreneurs who, I'm sure, will come out stronger. Likewise, at Business France, under the leadership of Christophe Lecourtier, we had the teams which have been able to adapt and reinvent themselves to continue to support foreign companies in our territories. Since March, we have opened up to a new channel of dialogue. We put together a new Choose France newsletters that many of you praise very much. We created documents and briefings to explain emergency aid, updated every week. And we also launched with the President and several ministers dozens of webinars with international CEOs. More than ever, international companies are essential to the French economy. Many of them have shown a great solidarity and citizenship during this pandemic by producing gel, masks, providing medical equipment or volunteer staff. In such a special year, it becomes even more critical to celebrate international investors who provide jobs not only in large cities, but also everywhere on our territory in the regions. And this is what we did with the second edition of the Choose France Awards, remarkably organized by Business France in partnership with les États de la France. Despite the pandemic, 2020 will remain a milestone for France's attractiveness. Just to understand what I'm talking about here, you need to recall that back in May, June, for the first time ever, EY placed France as the most attractive nation in Europe, ahead of the UK and Germany. Now, when we asked to our investors what is important for them, they all stated loud and clear that having recovery measure will be decisive. Hence the reason why in September, the President Macron revealed the France Relance, a massive 100 billion stimulus plan, up to 4% of the GDP. But many companies also define the access to talents as the reasons why they will invest in France. In 2020, for the first time, thanks to the Paris-Saclay University, France joined the podium of the Schengen ranking, illustrating the ability we have to provide these talents so much needed. Last but not least, I'm deeply convinced that the digital transformation will drive the growth of tomorrow and be one key part of the solution. So it's a great signal for international investors that France was in 2020 the only nation in the top European trio with UK and Germany to see its capital deployment growing effectively. A real vote of confidence for the French tech. Now, what to expect for France in 2021? Obviously, we need to fight the COVID, but that's a joint fight that we have with our neighbors. But we'll be relentless at welcoming you and demonstrating that France is a winning choice. We'll continue to build with our neighbors the decade of Europe. And yes, we will stand for optimism, not a blissful naivety, but a unifying and driving optimism, which will be the base to foster a fairer and carbon-free economy. I wish you a Happy New Year to you and your loved one. All my best wishes for a peaceful 2021.